What is happening, people? Welcome back to wahsup TV, where I'm giving my preview for the Warriors versus the Knights, and hope you guys have been well. I know it's been a tough 2 to 3 weeks as a fan, but we've got a great opportunity here to go to the Knights at Newcastle and get a result, and to correct some of the issues we're having, hopefully, but ultimately just get a win on the board to build confidence. But anyway, guys, if you are here for the first time, please give us a like and subscribe to wahsup TV for all your New Zealand Warriors content, and we do appreciate you. Look, team list, obviously the changes are Katewell has come back in, and then we've got Levon on the bench, and we've got Bunty, our 4 on the bench as well, with Dylan Walker and Tom Ale. Great to see Bunty back. Me and my Ash, as you know, if you're following the channel, I've been talking a lot about Bunty and how especially that he's a really good forward in terms of cleaning up and tidying up the ruck. So you're getting a lot from him in terms of when our boys like Barnett and AFB go over, we need ruck control. If you have been watching our team, we haven't been controlling the ruck very well at all. We haven't been able to subdue teams or slow them down. And you're seeing around the 20-minute mark or even earlier sometimes, teams are just beating us through the middle on the outside. So we need someone like a Bunty to come in, and I think his value, his stock value has risen because of what he does bring in that space. Now, he isn't the great, we all know his skill set, but we need his skill set in terms of keeping a tight ruck, allowing us to slow the play the ball down, allowing us to win the field position battle, as that's something that we have been struggling with lately. I've noticed, if you notice watching our games, we do want to play that style, the grinded out style, the kick on the 5th to the corner to the winger. But if you've been watching our games, you'll notice that teams are getting up further up the field and doing the exact same to us, and we're struggling with that battle. We want to be able to kick on that 5th based on the model that Webby's implemented, and we want to pin them down within at least their 30-meter line or 40-meter line so that it's a long kick. So teams have been getting up over to the 50, even the 60-meter line sometimes off a set. That tells you a lot about our ruck control, and hopefully Bunty and Dylan Walker and the rest will be able to help and limit that while our guys like AFB and Barnett off. So that's exciting for me. Katewell back. There's I suppose the discussion is coming up around his impact offensively, as for me is the main one. Good friend of Ash as well has mentioned that he does struggle defensively. He's been missing a lot of tackles, which isn't a great sign. They have been targeted down the edge. SJ has been targeted this whole year, and I think that having someone like Katewell, although his general work and play is really good, the 1% is he gets up the tackle count. We need someone to protect Sean a bit, and Newcastle was doing such a great job of that. It's kind of like we need a bit more from Katewell, and we need to be able to settle that side defensively, even on goal line attack, so that we're not leaking so many tries down the edge, and even down, if you're thinking the on long range tries, we're getting targeted down that edge. And it's not just Katewell's fault, obviously. We know Dallin's jamming in, we know Rocco's missing some tackles sometimes, we know Sean's getting targeted, so we just need to tighten that up. But his overall general play, I think Katewell's good. He gives you 80 minutes, which frees up a bench spot to purely focus on the middle rotation. So with that in mind, hopefully him playing 80 minutes allows our forwards, our middle forwards, to be fresh throughout the game. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But still, we have to be super tight defensively on our edge. And at the moment, he's not having the best run. Attack-wise, we know our forwards, especially our edge back rowers, been doing so much work defensively, but have been giving us nothing in terms of attacking line. And it's not even just attack, it's more about we need strong lead lines to draw in defenders to open up for the outsides. He needs to get some touches so that he can attract the defense, and then hopefully that right side that was so good last year could open up even more. And that's where I think the benefit of a new quarter, even Josh Curran's lines were very strong. Katewell's lines for me aren't the strongest. He doesn't draw those defenders in, so that's an area I think needs to be improved in. But hopefully, at least with him playing 80 minutes, it stems the flow in the middle and allows our forwards to stay fresh. That's what I'm thinking, at least. You don't get guys Barnett moving out to an edge, all this chopping and changing. Hopefully it kind of stabilizes things a bit. Yeah, in the other parts of the game, the team, Tamaide, I know he's been getting a lot of heat for not really doing anything. I think the more I'm looking into it, you can kind of look at this system as it's very Sean focused, but also he's on the end of a lot of the plays, and teams have already decided to jam in. Now, you could actually say a lot of our 5'8" have struggled in this system. Metcalf hasn't had clear-cut chances. He's had to be creative when he scored tries or set up players. He's had to use his speed, his attributes, his physical attributes, but he's not getting the best opportunities himself when he was playing it. So if you think Tamaide, he hasn't had the best opportunities either. He's always usually on the end of it when someone is jamming him, and he has to make a really quick pass. What I would love to see him do is get in that first receiver a little bit more. I love that Tohu and Walker played through the middle, but I love sometimes on a short side, or even like off the near post to his side, he gets that first receiver and he has a lead runner to work with him. He can use forward as his option, or even if it's an even shorter side where you're playing 3-on-3, let the guys run off his shoulder, get them right on top of him. Don't play that deep shape. I've seen sometimes when Tamaide is going at the line and Rogers and Montoya are like 5 meters back. They're not even at the line, so he needs to be given some more options to support him. Now, in saying that, yes, Sean is probably the focus. He will call pretty much the majority of the game, but the opportunities that Tamaide gets, he needs to be able to have his guys ready, and he needs options to work with. He needs stuff and opportunities. So hopefully, with 10 days prep, we get a bit more of that for him. I think also the ball playing, while we're focusing on attack, I think the ball playing should improve with Tohu, and especially with Walker coming on. I think Walker was a little bit flat last week, just energy-wise. I think he'll round himself out, but we need really impact forwards. We need to support him when he's playing lock. I mean, for example, when you look at AFB, if Walker and AFB go at the line and Walker plays short, it's damaging. It can break the line. So we need. I'm actually valuing even like a Zion Mayu to run lines with Walker to attract those defenders through the middle. Unfortunately, Zion's out at the moment, but for me personally, I would like to see him involved where we can get through stronger lead runners. I mean, you look at Barnett and AFB, look how hard they go at the line, how much they draw attention. Zion Mayu's of that mold where he's drawing attention. I would like to see him kind of get an opportunity to be part of that. But we need a lot of that in order for our middle play to work. You saw adding 2 tries last week, it was great. And that's because they're running those lines really strong. And then Walker again did a great job there. But I think we need more of that. But also, at times, I feel like Sean needs to take over the game in terms of getting control of things. He needs to get himself at first receiver, go along the line, drop guys underneath. There's different things he can do. I was watching the Panthers on the weekend and even the Cowboys. You just see how aggressive the types of Dead and Luai and Cleary going at the line, really like forcing defenders to address them. I think we get into too much of this pattern where they play out the back to Sean, and there's no one drawing attention. And sometimes I think even Sean needs to draw attention at the line to get guys to bite in. So if we're always going to play out the back, teams can read that and cue off of that. So I think that's something where our halves need to be a bit more physical, a bit more at the line, going deep into the line and making teams react stronger. I don't think there's enough reaction at the line enough right now, and teams are just drifting off of us. As you can see, we need more of a reaction, more of a bite to be able to open up for our outsides. Perfect example was the first try last week against the Titans. Mitch Barnett sucks in, him and Egan suck in those 3 defenders at the ruck. It's out the back to Sean. They jam, and Sean makes a great decision, quick pass, and it's an easy try. It's an easy try. Same again for AFB's tries. You're getting guys defending and like causing a reaction and getting a result. So we need more of that throughout the game, and especially down the left side. We need to figure out a way to get RTS involved. I just think we're coming up to, I think, round 12, where I'm going to make my decision and say, has this worked or has it been a failure? We need more data to support that it will work. I'm trusting that the coaching staff will get these opportunities right, but for what it is right now, we can't say that it's been working. But I'm hoping we can correct some of that at Newcastle. Our back five, I mean, Dallin has had his moments. He needs to trust Berry. He needs to be able to make sure that, I think sometimes he's jamming either too late, the reaction's too late, or sometimes he just needs to really trust that Berry will get his tackle. The first try on the long range try, he needed to let Berry have that, and he kind of got caught in ball watching a little bit. There's just moments where he's just getting caught out, and he's making poor decisions at wrong times when he doesn't need to. Same time though, Berry on the last try that Khan Pereira got, Berry got missed the tackle. So it's that whole chain, that whole left side chain is struggling at the moment to get their spacing right, to get trust on the inside man. Sometimes Berry's holding for the inside for Sean to get in, and he's getting caught on the outside. You know, sometimes Sean's holding and pushing right in because Katewell's out of position, or the defensive line's in such disarray because we can't control the ruck, that we have no balanced structure. And sometimes you look at the defensive line on their left side and think, man, they're all over the place. Sometimes if you're back to the Manly game, Dallin had gone back on the fourth tackle for the 40-20 potentially from DCE. They shifted out their hands, and Dallin's not even involved in the play until they score. So there just needs to be a whole kind of communication, figure it out, and hopefully over the last 10 days they have. Now look at the Knights side. Ash and I had a really good discussion about, you know, these guys are good, you know, really good. The back five we feel is very strong. Gage is back. I think he'll be a threat on the right edge, so Roger will get a lot of traffic, I think. Best is still quality. The wingers do a good job. Marju's that potent runner. Tuala does a nice enough job, and the new kid at the fullback, he's young and confident. He scored a try last week, so you know he'll be up for it for himself, wanting to prove a point. Jackson Hastings and Tyson Gamble, they're a decent halves pairing. Hastings will be the coordinator, the director of the ship, and so you know that's a good backline in terms of at home they'll want to get the job done. The forward pack, obviously we beat them in a lot of areas. The Saifidi brothers, Brayley's good, but he's come back from injury, and hopefully for his sake he goes well. But you think Egan has the upper hand there, and in the back row no Frizzell, so that benefits us. And obviously with Tohu battling up against I forgot his name there, Lock, but yeah, we win in a lot of those areas. The bench as well, currently we're looking pretty good, but they've got the Saifidi brothers, they got a few on there, they got the Hetheringtons who's ready to throw hands, you know, the Jed Cartwrights. There's a few of them there that we can't do what we did at St. George, where we just chucked two, you know, pretty much had a one-man rotation. We need to be able to have all four on deck, and it looks like for the majority now we're getting a bit of health. If Bunty comes in, that's great. We've got a bit more of a stable forward pack, but we need to be able to control the middles. If we can't control the middles, and we haven't for the last three or 4 weeks, we're going to struggle again. And any team with that amount of possession, if we're making no errors and penalties still, we have proven that we can't defend those errors. We are at this current stage unable, until we see otherwise, to defend the amount of errors that we've been making in the last couple games. So this is a big game to kind of build confidence back in themselves and as a group. Without Ponga, obviously it's a different offense, probably less threats on the edge, I'm assuming, but no doubt they'll have a game plan. O'Brien is a good coach. He'll have them up for it. Look, they only lost by 8 last time at Mount Smart. Last year they beat us kind of convincingly towards the end at home. I'm sure they'll be up for it. I'm sure the crowd will be up for it. So we got to be really careful about how we approach this. We got to be able to build some confidence. We have to trust in the processes. We actually have to believe that we're going to do it. But the defense first and foremost has to be solid. We have to be strong. And then the attack is doing well right now, even without the left side humming, but we need a little bit more variety. We've gotten so much ball. If you looked at the Titans game, there was almost 10 minutes straight of us just on their goal line, and we got nothing for it. So there needs to be a bit more of a clinical edge We're able to do it early in the game when bodies are fresh, but we seem to have run out of ideas. We seem to run out of options, and guys seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when we get a ton of ball on their goal line. We need to be more clinical. We need to be more ruthless. We need more precision. We need guys hitting the gaps at the right time, and hopefully we get that this Sunday. Now, for me, guys, you know, the last few weeks I've been talking 13 pluses. My little view, I'm slowly swaying and viewing that this team isn't quite that dominant team I was expecting them to be this year. I will have to eat humble pie there a little bit. I'm expecting a very close game. For me, it's about keeping them to as little points as possible. I would love, even in a loss, to see the defense keep it down to 12 points or 14 points. That would tell me that defensively we're improving. The other thing is, though, we need to prove that we can, if we are going to play this game, well, we are going to play it, I'm sorry, but if we win by 13 plus, it's a reflection that we've still got it and that things are up on the uptrend. But if I'm being honest, I still feel it's not going to be able to correct itself. I said last week, we're not going to jumpstart this season from what I've seen. And there's no easy fix from what I've seen in terms of the consistency of the lapses defensively, the errors, the penalties, everything. So I think this is a close game. I think it's more in the vein of 18-14. For me personally, I'd love to see it get to 24. I always say 24 is a magic number for us, even though defensively we've been really poor. But in terms of us winning games with a good defensive game, 24 is a safe number for me. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I don't think 10 days and 3 days off is going to solve things. There's some underlying issues, but I'm still hoping for a good result. So, look, I'd say maybe 20-16 might be the scoreline, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Knights do beat us. And if that is the case, then we need to have some serious discussions, because this is a game that's set up with the rest that we've had, getting guys healthy back. Hopefully Bunty plays with the starting 13. The best, apart from Tamaide, is pretty much close to what we've selected and what we've planned for this year. They've had 8 to 9 weeks of play. We should be able to get a result here if we are that team. I'll have to wait and see. My confidence has dropped a little bit, but I still obviously love the club, still love what we're doing, but y'all have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that's my review. I'll see you all on Sunday, and maybe hopefully we get a dominant win, because that would lift the spirits of the club, lift the spirits of the fans, but also give us a better indicator that we just got to trust the process. But anyway, guys, give us a like and subscribe before you leave here at wahsup TV, and thank you for your time and attention, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.